Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we will discuss next chapter of the reasoning ability, that is analogy. An analogy is an interesting way to reason and extend a concept to a relevant field. Often the only convenient way to solve a problem will be an analogy. These analogies are thus rigorously checked in the reasoning ability. Here we shall see how we can understand this technique and follow it to the solutions. Here we have some contents for analogy. Alphabet analogy, analogous pairs, detecting analogies, nonverbal analogy, number analogy. And we will see some practice questions also. Let's discuss one by one. First, alphabet analogy. Alphabet analogy, one of the topics in the banking exam that requires a lot of patience and has a habit of popping time and time again in the IBPS PO, SO, SBA clerk and other exams is alphabet analogy. Normally, there are two types of analogies asked in exams, numerical analogy and alphabet analogy. Here we are going to focus only on alphabet analogy. Here we have some table of contents. Alphabet analogy. As the word stands, analogy means a correspondence, a relationship between something and someone. In these questions, a group of two words is given. We have to establish a relationship between them and then find the answer based on such relationship. In banking exams like IBPS PO, SSC, IBPS clerk, etc., these questions have a history of teasing the aspirants as there is no fixed method or the formula to solve it. You just need to have enough patience of different types of questions asked from this topic. To solve the questions easily, assign a numerical value to each and every alphabet in forward as well as backward manner. If possible, remember those numerical values, or else when you are given the time before an exam is starting, then note down this sequence. Let us see some solved examples for alphabet analogy. First question. Here he gave some alphabetical orders. We have to solve them. First, C, D, E, F, M, N, O, P, U, V, W, X, question mark. Let us see the answer. In this question, first you need to establish a relationship between C, D, E, F and M, N, O, P. And then look for the same relationship for U, V, W, X and the answer. Before starting to solve the question, first assign the numerical values to all the alphabets and make a table as given here. Now from the table you can note that the gap between C and M is 10. The gap is similar between the following alphabets. So in the first group, every alphabet is pushed forward by 10 spaces. Similarly, the second group will also be pushed forward by 10 spaces. Thus, next group will be UVWX and EFGH. So, the required answer is the option 2, that is EFGH. Let us solve some more questions for better understanding. Here we have some practice questions. Just do it yourself. Next technique of the analogy is analogous pairs. An important type of analogies are the questions based on analogous pairs. In this section of the exam, a given set of analogous questions are provided. By examining the given data, the candidate is expected to find out the rule of the analogy and then apply this rule to complete the analogous pair or any given series. Here we have some table of contents for analogous pairs. First, what is an analogous pair? An analogous pair is a pair of words, numbers or objects that are connected by some rule or by similarity. The word analogy means comparison between two things for the sake of clarification. For example, a couple names their first child A, their second child as B, their third child as C, and so on. If someone asks you to guess the name of the fifth child of this couple, you would not hesitate to say that it should be E, because since they follow an alphabetical order to name their children, and since the fifth letter of the alphabet is E, you will guess with certainty that the name should be E. This is the concept of analogy. What we do in the analogy is that first we find the rule or relation connecting a given set of data or information and use this rule to predict or guess an unknown value. Still confused? Let us settle you down with some examples. Next, letter analogy. Here we have an example for letter analogy. Find the missing term. Here he gave some group of letters A, E, I, L, Q, V, A, C, E, H, dash, dash. Here we have some options. Let's find out the answer. It looks very difficult to guess at first. Should you give up and save time for other questions? Well, no. As we will see, there is no reason to panic. In questions like these, it is very important to keep calm and remember that the answer is right in front of you. This brings us to the first step of solving analogies, that is, gathering the information from the given data. Before we solve it, we see that the answer is C. The data here is A, E, I. What is the pattern here? Between A and E, there are three letters, that is B, C, and E. Also between E and I, there are three alphabets. Those are F, G, and H. There you go. You have completed the step 1 of the solution. We now know the rule. Let us move on to the second step, that is the application of the rule. Now between L and Q, we have M, N, O and P, that is 4 letters which are one more than 3. Similarly, between Q and V, we have R, S, T and U. Again 4 letters. Thus, the relation is that the second word or collection of letters is separated by one more alphabet than the first one. To answer between A and C, we have one alphabet. Also between C and E, we again have only one alphabet. So, by analogy, the analogous pair to ACE should have a gap of 2 letters, that is H, K, N. So, the correct answer is C. Let us try another one. Awareness-based analogy. Here we have some examples. Complete the analogy. Polio virus, food poisoning, dash. He gave some options. Let us find out the answer. This is an easier example. The questions in analogous pair section could be based on any rule. They could be based on your awareness, aptitude or vocabulary. Here we see that polio is caused by poliomyelitis, which is a virus. So, the rule is disease followed by the type of organism that causes it. Food poisoning, on the other hand, is caused by listeria, salmonella and other microbes, which are all bacteria. Hence, the answer is D, bacteria. Next, vocabulary based analogy. In this section, as you might have guessed, the vocabulary of the candidates is checked. Let us see this with the help of an example. Here we have the example. Alzheimer's disease, dementia, food poisoning, dash. Here we have some options. Let us find out the answer. Questions like these don't focus on finding the rule as much as they focus on your general awareness. Here, as you might have guessed, the rule is that the first pair forms a disease symptom pair. Following or extending this analogy to the other pair, we see that the answer to this should be B, bloating. We have crossed out high fever, although fever is a symptom of food poisoning because of the term high. The most accurate option should be selected in case the instructions demand so. However, if the instruction to the question asks you to select more than one answer, you may select A and B without any loss of brevity. Here we have some practice questions. You can find out the answers. Answers also is there. Let's just go through it. Please like, share and subscribe my channel.